Imagine spending days proving your company delivered results, only to find out your client wasn't just incompetent, he was a racist, lying bully who thought he could cheat you out of money. Now imagine turning the tables so perfectly that not only does he lose his refund, but you send his customers straight to his competitor. This isn't fiction, this is exactly what happened. If you've ever wanted to see real-life karma hit someone who absolutely deserved it, this story is for you. Smash that like button, subscribe for more jaw-dropping revenge stories, and comment below with your favorite moment of poetic justice from today's episode. When I first met Scott, not his real name, I was working as an account manager for a digital marketing firm in the South. My job was simple in theory: help small businesses generate leads. In practice, it was like being a firefighter in a fireworks factory. Most clients were great. Some were challenging. And then there was Scott. He ran a small dad-and-son contracting company, windows, drainage, finishing, small repair jobs. At first glance, you'd think, salt of the earth kind of guy. But his account was a mess. Years of complaints, missed calls, unpaid invoices. My predecessor, a brilliant black account manager, had tried to work with him, but Scott refused to even meet with her in person. With me, a white guy, he magically had time for face-to-face meetings. That was my first red flag. Still, a contract renewal was coming up. Scott claimed we weren't producing leads and wanted a refund under our service guarantee. Big money was on the line. My manager asked me to listen to his call recordings and write a detailed report. He suspected it might go to court. What I found over the next week lit a fire in me. I spent nearly 40 hours, an entire work week, listening to Scott's call recordings. Each one was like peeking into a slow-motion car crash of incompetence and bigotry. A small-time landlord with 3 properties had accepted Scott's quote and was literally begging to pay a deposit. 4 voicemails later, the man had gone from cheerful to worried to furious. "Hey, I want to pay you. Are you okay? Why the expletive, aren't you returning my calls?" Scott never called him back. No explanation. Nothing. This one enraged me. A public housing office called about a job involving 25 homes. Initially, Scott was thrilled, big money. Then he learned it was Section 8 housing in a black/Hispanic neighborhood. Instantly, his tone iced over. "Actually, we're super booked. Out of our service area." He lied, then hung up. As an account manager, I knew this wasn't just bad business. It was discrimination. But the housing office rep never connected the dots. A service member in Japan stayed up late to call during business hours. His stateside home had been broken into. His wife was stuck in a hotel. He needed a door replaced. Easy job, solid profit. Scott never responded. Not to the call, not to the email, not to the wife. Call after call, voicemail after voicemail, it was the same. Missed opportunities. Discrimination. Incompetence. I was furious. This wasn't a case of our company failing Scott. This was Scott failing everyone else. I compiled my findings into a 24-page report. It was brutal. Professionally written, yes, but brutal. It detailed how Scott failed to handle 70% of his leads properly. When I handed it to my manager, he flipped through it, eyebrows climbing higher with each page. "Damn, 24 pages," he muttered. I asked, "Is it okay?" He smiled. "I think I know exactly what this says." He asked for my recommendation. I said, "Remove all discounts. Charge Scott the full price. Make it clear we deliver leads. It's his job to close them. If he can't, that's not our problem." Scott was getting a 70% discount. My manager predicted he'd cancel. I said, "And is that a problem?" My manager's grin widened. "Nope." We arranged a meeting. I built a PowerPoint summarizing my findings. I wanted my manager there both as backup and as a witness. I knew it would be heated. A third of the way in, Scott snapped. "Get to the point." I kept my voice calm. "We bring you leads. It's your job to sell them. Your failure to do so is not our problem. He sneered. Fine. I'll renew at the same rate. I smiled. Actually, you didn't let me get to that part. We have new pricing for you. Scott leaned forward. Lower? I shook my head. Oh no. Not lower. My manager smirked. Scott's face reddened. What's the new rate? I dropped the bomb, the full rate, 3 times what he was paying. Scott exploded. You're overcharging me. You're ripping me off. You're a horrible salesperson. He turned to my manager. She should be fired for treating me like this. My manager stayed silent. This was my show. I delivered my rehearsed line. Scott, you're a challenging client. Therefore, the pricing of our service needs to reflect the challenge of providing you service. We will be charging you our full rate. It felt amazing, the nicest possible way of saying, you're a nightmare, and if I'm going to work with you, it has to be worth it. Scott sputtered. You greedy pricks. I'm canceling. I said coolly. That is an outcome we have decided is acceptable. He sneered. And what about my refund? I replied. We've demonstrated we did our part. The reason you're not bringing in sales is your company's inability to close leads. He snarled. So you're saying I don't know what I'm doing? I smiled. Scott, if you agree to sign at the new rate, I'd be happy to sit down with you, free of charge, to help improve your sales techniques. Translation. Yes, you don't know what you're doing. He shot back. Nah, expletive you. I'm calling my lawyer. I asked. So you're not going to renew? He barked. No. My manager said. That's fine. Would you like us to email you our report? Scott. Sure, I'll show my lawyer. We never heard from Scott's lawyer. Part 5, The Dagger Twist, Revenge Level 2. A few weeks later, it was time to shut down his account. We needed to ask what he wanted to do with his call tracking numbers, CTNs, the numbers his customers had saved as Scott's number. Normally, we'd waive the porting fee as goodwill. But Scott had made it clear, 0 goodwill. I charged him full rate, $15 per number, about $100 total. Sent a registered letter giving him 30 days. He didn't respond. Instead, I woke up to a dozen hateful text messages telling me to burn in hell. We saved those messages in his account. So now I had 7 CTNs tied to Scott. Hundreds of customers would still be calling those numbers, thinking they were calling Scott. If I let them die, they'd just get a number no longer in service message. And that's when I thought of Bobby. Bobby was another Southern contractor, Scott's polar opposite. His mama baked me pies for our meetings. His secretary Ashley was a sales wizard. He did more types of jobs and served the same area. So I did it. I ported all 7 of Scott's CTNs to Bobby's account. Waived the fee. Suddenly, Scott's customers were calling Bobby. And Ashley? She converted them like a pro. Everyone won, except Scott. Part 6, Karma Delivered, Satisfying Payoff. At our next performance meeting, Bobby was glowing. What did you do to my account? He asked. I smiled. I reviewed your account and made a few tweaks. Have you seen any improvement? Oh yeah, Bobby said. Did this cost me anything extra? Nope. He increased his spend with us by 40%. A year later, I googled Scott's business. Gone. Out of business. Wonder why. Climactic revenge payoff, 1 to 2 minutes. I didn't just deny Scott his refund. I stripped away his discounts, raised his prices, and handed his customers, on a silver platter, to his competitor. Bobby grew. Customers got better service. And Scott? He got exactly what he'd earned, nothing. Reflective wrap-up, 15 to 20 seconds. This story isn't just about revenge. It's about accountability. If you treat people like garbage, if you're incompetent and discriminatory, it will catch up with you. Sometimes karma needs a little push, but it always lands. If you loved seeing karma in action, hit that like button. Share this story with someone who needs a reminder that bad behavior has consequences. And subscribe for more real-life revenge stories that prove justice is alive and well.